Alright, I asked what my next video should be about, and somebody said replicate a Queens of the Stone Age tone, and I believe I have done that, basically. I mean, it's not like it's a weird tone or anything, it's pretty standard rock guitar distortion. Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, let's see what we got here. First order of business, any guitar tone, you're going to want a tuner. Retune in Reaper is the best tuner I've ever used. It's so good. It's just... It's just so quick. It's so accurate. Mwah. Love you. Next plugin in the chain is General Dynamics. This is an amazing plugin. Super amazing effect. Whoever designed and created this deserves a big round of applause because holy shit. It's what it says. It's a General Dynamics plugin. It's for all your dynamics all at the same time. It can be a noise gate, it can be a compressor, it can be an expander. It's General Dynamics. Anyway, I'm using it as a noise gate. You can see my signal is that red bar right there, and it's staying below where I shelved it off, but if it goes above, it comes through. It goes below. All you have to do to use this is click and drag. So if you do that, make your noise nice and loud. But yeah, all you have to do is click and drag, and then hold Shift and click and drag, and it'll smooth out what you drew. And there you go, you got a noise gate. And it's got like release time parameters. Probably put that up to like 15. And then I like to put the attack on 0. Anyway, I'm just using it as a noise gate. It's great. Very visual. I love it. Next thing is the preamp EQ. This is basically just very basic version of what would go into like your pedals, like if you're using a tube screamer or something, plus then the EQ and the amp. Generally amps will boost the highs quite a bit because the electric guitar actually is a pretty dull sounding instrument. But you boost the highs and it gets all guitar-y. Next thing is distortion. This is a JS plugin. You just literally go to add plugin, go to JS, type distortion. It's right there. This is an amazing plugin. I mean, it's so unassuming. There's no graphics or anything, but you know, the gain is your input gain. Hardness is it's basically a dry wet blend. All the way down would be dry, all the way up is wet. I mean, I'm sure it's a little bit more complex than that, but that's basically the result you get. So the more hardness you put in, the more it's going to be a distortion, the less it's going to be more like an overdrive or a tube screamer kind of deal. And then the max volume is the part where it's the point at which it starts clipping. So I put that at-- Hardness at 6, that's the default. I think this is all the default actually. And here's what it sounds like with just the stage 1 distortion. Right, so it sounds like a, you know, like an overdrive. It's a gentle sort of a not too clippy sound. And then I'll disable that. Here's just the dry. Just a little plinky guitar. Right, and then stage 2 by itself. So that one I put hardness at 10, but the gain is quite a bit lower at only 13. And then the max volume is a little bit lower, meaning more severe clipping at minus 15. And with the two of them combined, it becomes what you heard earlier. Yeah. And then post amp EQ, all I did is just a very wide bump at around 2K. That's what cuts through the mix. Here's without it. Here's with it. Right, so it's just, it cuts through better with the 2K boost. And then finally, this is the cabinet sim. It's just some Marshall Plexi with an SM57 off-axis impulse response. I found this years ago. Sorry, I have no idea where it came from at this point. This was probably over 10 years ago. I will link this impulse in the description of this video with a link. I will link it to you. I'll put a link in there. And all you do, you just load up reverb, right? Here, I'll redo it just to show you how it works. So to set up an impulse response for your cabinet simulation, here's what you do. You load up reverb. Here's the factory default. Here's how it's going to show up on your screen if you've never used this before. So you want to take your dry, move it all the way down. Your wet, double click it so it's at 0. And then hit add, go to file, then go to the impulse you downloaded, the wave file, open it. Now before you play any notes, click this box right here and go to apply minus 18 dB gain. Otherwise it's going to be way too loud. And that's it. Now it'll sound like the cabinet. Here's what it sounds like without it, by the way. Just the worst. Oh my god. Alright, anyway. You want to keep that on. And so you don't have to do all those clicks next time. Just hit the plus button up here. Go to save preset as default. And then just type in like Marshall SM57. Oh, apparently I already have a preset with that name. Anyway, point is, yeah, you save it as the default, and the next time you load it up, it'll load up that impulse with all these settings ready to go, which then makes it also easier if you just want to switch to a different impulse. You can just scroll through this list right here using your scroll wheel or clicking on it. So like here's one that's the on axis. I think that sounds like garbage. Off axis way better. Anyway, that is all there is to this. And then there are like different delay plugins you can get. This one I set up as kind of a reverb almost. So here's the dry. And then with this on, it's not really a very good effect, but it does something. I guess I don't have much else to say about this one this time. Keep it relatively short and sweet. So there you go. There's how to make a awesome guitar sound on Reaper without buying anything. You don't need to even download any plugins. It's all in here. It's just not really flashy and fancy like with the the other DAWs out there. But you know what? That's Reaper's style. We're keeping it real. We're keeping it mellow. We're not trying to impress anyone. We're just trying to make music, right? So anyway, that is the end of this video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead, do me a favor, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. And I'm going to put a link to a website called Ko-fi, ko-fi.com. I made a profile on there where you can leave me a tip if you want to. It's no big deal if you don't want to, but I feel like there's probably people out there who want to, and I would be remiss if I did not give an opportunity for people to do that. And I'm not going to lie, I like getting money from people. So if you want to give me some money, go for it. Go ahead. I'm more than willing to take it from you. Thank you very much, and see you on the next one. And leave a comment. What do you want me to do for my next video? I mean, look, guys, I'm a smarty. I know a lot. I can teach you stuff. I can show you how to use Reaper. I can show you stuff about guitar. Just let me know what you want. It'll help me out a lot to figure out what to do. So, hey, really appreciate it. Subscribe. And stick around for more videos in like 2 months or whenever I get around to making another one. Help me out. Help me out. All right, goodbye.